Fangraphs says the Minnesota Twins are 10th. I also do. Minnesota Twins ranked 10th in my rankings. Carlos Santana was one of the big additions. Forgot to mention, their goal is to win the division again and win a playoff series, win the ALDS. Last year, they made it to the ALDS, and they lost to the Astros, I believe. I think that the goal is to make it to the ALCS at a minimum. Carlos Santana was an addition that they made. They added... I completely forgot about this. They had Anthony DeSclafani. I didn't forget about that. Manuel Margot. They traded for him as he was in the Glasnow trade to the Dodgers. Then they go out, they get him, and they only give up Noah Miller. No other big additions. They didn't lose anything big other than, like, they lost Michael A. Taylor, but that's fine. They lost Gallo, that's fine. Kentameda, that's fine. The big loss is Sonny Gray. He had 2.79 ERA a year ago, and he's a very good pitcher, and it's going to be difficult to replace that. Now, you're not going to be able to replace that. They're hoping that, in my opinion, a big Cy Young contender, Pablo Lopez. He had, I think, a 3.67 ERA last year. A 3.66 ERA a year ago, with a 3.33 FIP, and I'm pretty sure a 3 expected ERA, 3.0 expected ERA. He underperformed his expected numbers. He looked really good last year, adding the sweeper to his repertoire. I think he could win Cy Young. He potentially will. He's one of the big favorites to win that award. And I believe he could win this award. Joe Ryan is starter number 2. He added the sweeper and splitter to his game. He completely changed his pitch mix going into last year. He had a 4.51 ERA, but a 3.53 expected ERA last year. Joe Ryan has a great pitch mix, and he's very good. One of the few times the Rays have made a trade, and it hasn't worked out for them. He also had a FIP of 4.13. I think Joe Ryan is going to be very good, a good 2 starter. Bailey Ober as a number 3 starter is really good. I really do believe in Bailey Ober. My worry is the 4 and 5 starter. Chris Paddock is coming off of injuries. He hasn't been consistently in the rotation. He hasn't been consistently in the rotation year to year. Louis Varland is really solid, was really solid in the bullpen last year. He's going to be moving into a rotation spot. Now, Anthony DeSclafani was traded for, and he's a solid rotation piece. I think he might jump in there as a 4 starter at some point, 4-5 starter whenever he's healthy, as Varland moves back to the bullpen. I think Varland is going to be a starter / bullpen arm, and maybe David Festa, one of their top prospects, could get called up and be a pitcher. Their bullpen is amazing. Johan Duran, Griffin Jax is pretty good. Justin Topa was good last year in Seattle. Caleb Thielbar, injured, but I think he can come back and be good. Josh Stomont has some good stuff. Brock Stewart's pretty good. They got a solid bullpen, especially Johan Duran, who, in my opinion, is the best closer. Maybe not the best closer in baseball, but is one of the best closers in baseball. Their offense is interesting. Catcher Ryan Jeffers has been in this organization for a few years now. He has been a solid backup. Now Vasquez, who they paid a lot of money to get as their starting catcher, moves to the backup role. Ryan Jeffers, at 26, turning 27 mid-season, finally getting an opportunity to be the everyday catcher. First base is Carlos Santana. They signed him in the offseason from the Brewers. He's a really, really solid offensive bat, walks a lot, and I think it's going to be a good addition to this lineup. Your first baseman last year was like Alex Kirilloff, who I don't see him anywhere on Fangraphs. He's the projected DH. Santana's going to play some first base, some DH. He's a pretty solid player. At second base, Edward Julien. He's actually pretty good. He's the 3 true outcomes type of guy where he walks a lot, and he strikes out a lot, swings and misses a lot. I still think he's going to be really good. I don't remember what his OPS was a year ago, but I know he was really good in his given time. And I think He's going to be great. He's not going to be an 839 OPS guy. I think he's going to decline a little bit with a 371 BABIP as well. I think there's going to be a slight decline, even though I still think Edward Julien is going to be good. At third base, you got Royce Lewis. I think he's going to be an MVP candidate this year. I think Royce Lewis is unbelievable, and I wouldn't even be shocked if Royce Lewis won the MVP, as long as he stays healthy. I've been on board since, not maybe since he was drafted, but since he made his debut in 2022, I believe. He played a little bit then. I was like, this guy's going to be a superstar. Whenever he stays healthy, he's going to be great. At shortstop, you got Carlos Correa. I think he's going to bounce back and have a great year offensively. I really love this offense. Like, they have so many pieces that are like, hey, they're going to be good if they stay healthy. They're going to bounce back. Like, everybody there. Matt Wallner, I think, is one of those guys that I think is going to have a breakout year. He was good in his short amount of time. If he's given a full year, I think he's going to have a phenomenal season. Byron Buxton is projected to start in center field, and I think he's going to be sharing DH duties with Carlos Santana and Alex Kirilloff. He's projected to play center field. It's been stated that he's gonna play center field, but I don't know that he's gonna play 100 games there. He might play maybe 60, 70 games there, and if he stays healthy, 60 to 70 games at DH. And he's always been a great hitter. In right field, it says that Max Kepler is going to be there. Max Kepler is very good. He had a very good year last year. I believe he will repeat that again. And it's pretty much it. Willie Castro and Kyle Farmer are kind of the backups at the infield positions there. I think this team is very good. I have them going 86 and 76, so winning one less game. I think the loss of Sonny Gray, even though you add Carlos Santana, you don't really replace that Sonny Gray piece that you miss. And I think that's going to be a tough go. My over-under was 87. Vegas says 86.5. I would go the over on 86.5.